It's Wednesday, and that means it's time to take a pause and celebrate some of the amazing work being done by our Midshore nonprofits. Welcome to What's Good Wednesday. As always, I'm your host, Jamie Dinkler. This will be our last What's Good Wednesday of 2025, and before we get into this week's good news, I want to take a moment to give a special thanks to the folks at Radio Chesapeake for welcoming me with open arms and allowing What's Good Wednesday not just to continue, but to flourish. Now, let's get into some celebrations. Shore Rivers is pleased to announce the addition of new member Steve Masterman to its governing board. As a grassroots nonprofit organization, the hard work and support of board members is imperative to the organization's efforts for thriving rivers on the Eastern Shore. A lifelong sailor on the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries, Steve Masterman brings to the board expertise in negotiation and property rights thanks to his career as a real estate consultant for large national and international companies. He's passionate about oyster restoration and has been a longtime Shore Rivers volunteer, supporter, and member of the Choptank River Keeper Committee. He currently lives on Broad Creek in St. Michael's with his wife Pamela. In addition to welcoming its newest member, the board also recently elected its executive committee for 2026, which consists of Barbara Lamp, Chair, Jean Lopez, Vice Chair, Frank Lewis, Treasurer, Mara Bollinger, Secretary, and Marion Fry, previous Chair. Shore Rivers also celebrated two longtime board members whose terms end this year, Katie Wyachek and Jill Bible. The organization is incredibly grateful to each of them for their years of dedicated service and invaluable contributions. Shore Rivers extends deep gratitude for the wise counsel, encouragement, and vision of these exceptional community members. See a full list of board members at shorerivers.org. Critchlow Atkins Children's Centers is proud to celebrate the accomplishments of two of its staff members who graduated from prestigious leadership programs this month. Kiev Colbert, director of Critchlow Atkins School-Age Site in Easton, graduated from Shore Leadership on December 3rd at the Easton Elks Lodge. The Shore Leadership Program offers executives, managers, and leaders on Maryland's Eastern Shore the opportunity to deepen their understanding of the issues and challenges facing our region. Led by facilitators Carol Grasser and Dr. Joe Thomas, participants are guided through skill-building activities and conversation to foster collaboration and problem-solving. A measurable impact on the expansion of personal and professional networks among the class participants is an inevitable outcome. Shore Leadership participants learn through face-to-face discussions with community leaders and experts from organizations and institutions that shape the region's economic structure and culture. The class develops an in-depth understanding of the interrelationships and complexities of the region. Executive Director Christy Morell completed Leadership Maryland's executive program, a professional development program dedicated to building a better Maryland by harnessing the strength of its local business and community leaders. Leadership Maryland honored Morell, a resident of Easton, and the entire executive program class of 2025 at its 32nd graduation ceremony held December 2nd at the West in Annapolis. Morell is now a member of Leadership Maryland's powerful alumni network consisting of more than 1,600 esteemed leaders from all over the state. Morell was one of 51 individuals chosen by a committee to complete this 8-month hands-on learning program. The class participated in an orientation and closing retreat that bookended 5 two-day sessions focused on Maryland's 5 main geographic regions and the most vital issues impacting economic development, education, health and human services, criminal justice, the environment, and multiculturalism and diversity across the state. More than 100 experts representing Maryland's business, government, education, and nonprofit communities served as panelists and guest speakers. Learn about Critchlow Atkins Children's Centers at cacckids.org. And speaking of Leadership Maryland, Jordan Perlstein, founder of the J. Noah Skills Academy, completed the Leadership Maryland Emerging Leader Program. This is a new professional development program targeting the rising stars within our state's public, private, government, education, and nonprofit sectors. The Emerging Leader Program celebrated alongside the Executive Program graduates on December 2nd. Pearlstein was one of 37 individuals selected to complete the 6-month hands-on program consisting of monthly day-long sessions that included both interactive training, led by a facilitator, and panel discussions featuring leaders from across the state as guest speakers. The program's curriculum offered a holistic approach to leadership development designed to help each applicant increase their self-awareness and gain behaviors, skills, and tools to become more adaptive, inclusive, strategic, and impactful leaders. Later that same week, Pearlstein traveled to Chicago, Illinois on December 5th, where he was a recipient of Association Forum's 2025 40 Under 40 program. Pearlstein and his fellow honorees represent the nation's top 40 professionals from across the association and nonprofit industries. Association Forum's 40 Under 40 program is in its 12th year and recognizes individuals nationwide. The application weighs factors such as leadership, dedication to mission, and giving back to the nonprofit community. For more information on the J. Noah Skills Academy, visit jnoahskills.org. A big congratulations to Critchlow Atkins and the J. Noah Skills Academy for these well-deserved recognitions. On that happy note, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more What's Good Wednesday. Welcome back to What's Good Wednesday on Radio Chesapeake. We're in the second half of our last show before the holidays, and I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to get into the holiday spirit. On Saturday, I had the pleasure of playing music, as my alter ego Jamie D, for Winter on the Chesapeake at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum. They hosted horse and carriage rides, wreath making, a one-man telling of a Christmas story, live music, s'mores stations, and of course, a perfect spot to watch the famous St. Michael's Boat Parade. This event was held as part of the 39th annual Christmas in St. Michael's, a weekend full of holiday events throughout the town of St. Michael's. This wonderful annual tradition was started to raise funds to open a daycare center in St. Michael's, which is now known as the Critchlow Atkins Children's Center's St. Michael's site. Today, the festival helps provide resources to many local nonprofits that enhance the quality of life for residents of the Bay 100 community, including Critchlow Atkins, the Bay 100 Community Pool, local school programs, the St. Michael's Community Center, the St. Michael's Fire Department, and many, many more. To date, Christmas in St. Michael's has raised more than $1.7 million. This incredible event takes over the town, and there's something for everyone to enjoy. A gingerbread competition, a holiday marketplace and sweet shop, breakfast with Santa, the Talbot Street Christmas Parade, holiday meals and music, and of course the magical lighted boat parade I mentioned earlier. One of the highlights of the weekend is the Tour of Homes. This tour features historic homes in the village and is one of the longest-running home tours in the state of Maryland. Operation Christmas Spirit is back in Easton. For 52 years, Operation Christmas Spirit has been feeding people in need on Christmas Day at the Easton Volunteer Fire Department from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This wonderful community undertaking was started by Sheldon Scott, or Scotty as he was lovingly called. Unfortunately, Scotty passed away several years ago, but Easton Rotary, Hambleton House Events, and Family Meal USA took the reins to carry on his legacy of helping the community and spreading joy. There are plenty of ways to help with Operation Christmas Spirit. On the 22nd and 23rd, they'll need assistance preparing the menus and prepping 250 chickens, which are being donated by Purdue Farms. You can also sign up to serve on Christmas Day, helping to feed more than 500 of our neighbors. This year, they are also asking people to volunteer to make and bake desserts. All desserts can be dropped off at the Easton Volunteer Fire Department anytime during kitchen prep hours. Bring them in a disposable pan, or they can transfer it to their pans. To sign up for any of these volunteer opportunities, reach out to Jordan Lloyd at Jordan, that's Jordan, at hhousellc.com. When I spoke to Jordan, he said he hopes to be bombarded. There is no such thing as too much help with this amazing community event. If you'd like to provide monetary support, you can donate at FamilyMealUSA.com. And that will do it for What's Good Wednesday for 2025. It has been my absolute pleasure to share good news from our local nonprofit community this year, and I can't wait to come back and do it again in 2026. If your Midshore nonprofit has something to celebrate, please send it my way at Wednesday@BeWhat'sGood.com to be featured on an upcoming episode of What's Good Wednesday. For now, have a joyous holiday season and a very happy new year. Make sure to find a nonprofit that speaks to your soul and send them some support. Whether it's your time, talent, or treasure, you can help make our community a better place. I'll see you back here on January 7th for more of What's Good here on the Midshore.